Hi, this is James Pereira. So today let's talk about why coaching is important in the workplace and should you ask permission first before you coach, that is. So if you're a business owner or a leader or a manager in an organization, this is probably a question that you have asked yourself or maybe even challenged by someone else. And I decided earlier this month to find out what people who are leaders think about this question. So, on this Facebook group that I belong to, leadership, I asked, do you ask permission from your employees before coaching them? And I got some very interesting answers, as you may be able to read from here. One of the guys said that leadership is not coaching. And there were some subsidiary comments that came out of that. Someone else said that, yes, leadership or coaching is part of leadership. So there is a lot of confusion about what is leadership. Is coaching part of leadership? Should a leader coach? That's basically the question that is coming up. And if coaching is not a function of leaders or leadership, what should leaders do then? And interestingly, over the last 2 weeks or so, I have been receiving alerts in my email about recent updates on Howard Business, as well as a few other websites talking about leaders and what leaders ought to do today in the 21st century, or at least in the second decade of the 21st century. The first thing that caught my eye was this article titled, this is in the website or newsletter Chief Executive, Emotional Intelligence has never been more important for leaders. Now, I think for more than 20 or 30 years now, a lot of leaders have discovered that emotional intelligence is important for leaders. And there is one thing that caught my eye, and this was linked to that question I had asked about whether you need to ask permission when you coach. And in this article, it pointed out five qualities or five key components of emotional intelligence that Daniel Goleman had identified. And I just want to look at a couple of them, or three of them actually. Number one is about motivation. Now, a leader with high emotional intelligence or EQ, emotional quotient, is able to motivate his staff. And one of the best motivators is coaching. And related to that is number four here, empathy for others. When you empathize with others, you are able to help and guide them. You are able to be in their shoes to understand what issues they go through and help them and guide them. And that is coaching. Next is social or soft skills. And coaching is a soft skill. So I find it fascinating that this one article talks about coaching and incorporates coaching within three of the components of EQ. The next article that I saw was titled Gen Z Employees Are Feeling Disconnected. Here's how employers can help. And as I scrolled through the article, what grabbed my attention was point number three, support young talent with coaching. Coaching supports not just young talent, all talent. Everybody needs coaching. And who else should do the coaching, as we saw in the first article, if not the leader? So it's the leader's job to coach. And that answers the guy who said that leadership is not coaching, whatever he understood by coaching. And yet, another article, again in the Harvard Business Review, the C-suite skills that matter most, which means skills that leaders need to have that will move the needle in their organization. And I would like to highlight this graph in that article, which shows that today, CEOs who are good with people are in higher demand than those who are good in hard skills. And that is key. So, in order to be good with people, we are again referring to social skills, which was what was mentioned in that very first article that I had shown you. And here is something that points to why leaders need to coach. As you can see here, social skills are particularly important where productivity hinges on effective communication. Now, if you already haven't made the link, coaching is a form of communication as well, because it is two ways. It's a dialogue that is going on between the leader and the employee. In order to understand what is happening, in order for the leader to empathize with the employee, and in order for the employer to support the employee, which is what Gen Z staff are looking for. Not just Gen Z, every staff is looking for support from the leader, right? And finally, the third article, again from Harvard Business Review, is how to be a compassionate manager in a heartless organization. And this will probably also work in an organization that has heart. So, first thing that you need to do as a leader is that you need to deliver business results. Now, if you have a team, how do you deliver business results if you don't pull in all your staff, all your employees, all your teammates to work towards a common goal, to align everybody? That is coaching. As a leader, you need to coach to align everybody and to support them as well. Secondly, you demonstrate the importance of accomplishment and accountability. Again, you do this via coaching. Third, supporting your people through awareness and advocacy. So, in order to support them through awareness, you need to conduct coaching. So, I guess I rest my case, people, that coaching is essential in the workplace. And to answer the question of whether you need to ask permission first, think about this. When somebody comes into your organization and you do onboarding, do you ever ask them permission before you onboard them? No, right? Because it is a requirement. Point number two, when they need to undertake any type of training that you need to conduct for them so that they will have the skills in order to undertake whatever job that is that they need to do in your organization, using your systems, using your technology or your equipment. Do you ever ask them permission before you train them? No, right? Because it is a requirement. It is understood that you need to be trained. And therefore, the next thing, if they need to be supported by you as the leader, why do you need to ask permission before you coach? Coaching is a requirement, just as training is. And let me just once again remind you of the study that Marshall Goldsmith and his colleagues had done in this manufacturing organization, which had a sales team of 3,000 people. When they did just training alone, there was not much improvement in the results. But when they threw in coaching as well, that's when you saw a huge uptick in the performance of the people. So, coaching does not require permission. You just get it done. Everybody needs coaching. And once again, do not do what other companies do, where they only reserve coaching for the weak performers. That is totally wrong, because everybody can improve. Even the top salesperson or the top performer in an organization can improve. If they can't improve, that means they have achieved perfection, which doesn't exist in the universe at all. So I hope this was useful for you. Share this video, give it a thumbs up if it was helpful for you. And if you have any questions or thoughts about coaching, the impact of coaching in the workplace, whether it's essential, how essential it is, or if you have any comments about seeking permission before coaching, put it down in the comment box below.